morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be having a look at a really exciting and inventive deck. Now, it's coming out of Japan, but it's essentially just using cards that are legal in the expanded format. So, in a very literal sense, yes, it's a Japanese deck, but really, this is an expanded deck that could be played in expanded. And it's all based around Ho-oh and Blaziken, and I'm fairly sure here that there aren't any cards we're using that aren't legal in the expanded format right now, so you can go out and play this deck like tomorrow. So it all starts around with Ho-oh. What does Ho-oh do? Well, Ho-oh's almost been kind of like the forgotten GX. It's all about the GX attack. And honestly, it looked so good, and no one ever actually used it. The GX attack says that you can essentially grab 3 fire Pokemon GX or EX from your discard pile and put them onto your bench. Now, this is a basic Pokemon and has the added advantage that you don't have to worry about the stage. So you can get a stage 1 or a stage 2 out here nice and easily, which clearly is what we're planning to do. Now, as for the attack cost here, yes, it is for a fire double colorless, but firstly, we play double colorless energy, and secondly, we've got Blacksmith. And Blacksmith lets you attach 2 fire energy from your discard to one of your fire Pokemon, so frankly, we've got ways of getting it out. Jobs are good 'un, ladies and gentlemen. Jobs are good 'un. And that's essentially what we use Ho-oh for. Yeah, Ho-oh's got a decent attack that does 180 damage for 4 energy. It's not a bad attack by any stretch of the imagination. But what we're really looking at here is Blaziken. Blaziken is the goal. What we really want to do is get 3 Blaziken in the discard pile, use our GX attack, and then smash with Blaziken. Because you see, Ho-oh might do 180 for 4 energy, while Blaziken does 210 for 3 energy. That's ridiculous. Now, Blaze Out GX does discard 2 energy from your opponent's Pokemon. That is exactly the same as Umbreon GX's GX attack, but you will never use this. And I mean very literally, you will never use this GX attack, because we're not playing any pre-evolutions. There's no Torchic here, although I did do a brilliant video about Torchic. That sounds vain. I did a video about a brilliant Torchic deck recently, so I'll pop a link to that one in the description. Go check it out. We're not playing any pre-evolutions. In order to get Blaziken on the field, you must have used Ho-oh's GX attack. Ergo, you can't use Blaziken's GX attack ever. You can do 60 for a double colorless energy, which is not terrible. It's fine for taking out pre-evolutions like Zorua, but really here, 3 energy, 210, discard 2 fire energy, and then just play Blacksmith. Jobs are good 'un. And that really is the basis of the deck here. You want to get a Ho-oh out as soon as you can using your GX attack, so that you can get yourself a Blaziken, and then smash. That's the goal. That's what we're looking to do. And I adore this as an idea. It's wonderful, and I love it. Now, there are a couple of other Pokemon we're using here. We're using Shaman. Shaman's fairly important in these fire decks, because Shaman lets you draw until you got 6 cards in your hand. And that's important because you want to be using Blacksmith a lot. And if you're using Blacksmith, you're not drawing cards, so you need Shaman in order to do so. And I know we're not talking about trainers yet, but we do have Scorched Earth here. Weirdly, there's no Heat Factory Prism Star. I would like to play 1 copy of Heat Factory Prism Star here, especially since it can't be Field Blown Away and it gets you an extra card. I will be playing a Heat Factory Prism Star when I play this deck. But it's draw power. You want to be trying to use Blacksmith as often as you can, So you really do need draw power outside of supporters. That's where this comes in. Speaking of which, we have an Orangaroo here, lets you draw until you got 3 cards in your hand. Again, it's non-supporter draw. We want as much non-supporter draw as we can get. We really want to be using Blacksmith like every turn here. There's a Tapu Lele that searches out supporter cards. Could be Blacksmith, could be a turn 1 Professor Sycamore. Whatever it is, it gets you your supporter cards. And then because it's expanded, we have 1 copy of Oricorio. And, I mean, look, it's just for Night March. Night March wants to get Pokemon in the discard to hit lots of damage. Oricorio drops 1 damage counter for each of your opponent's Pokemon in the discard. Bearing in mind Pumpkaboo's got 60 HP and Joltik's got 30. Yeah, pretty good counter. Now, in terms of energy here, it's actually kind of interesting. Sure, we're playing a bunch of basic fire energy so we can get them back using Blacksmith, but we also play a couple of burning energy here. Burning energy is great because you attach it to a fire Pokemon, and if you would have to discard fire energy to do an attack like Blaziken, well, you just choose burning energy and then it doesn't get discarded. Little bit unreliable because of stuff like Enhanced Hammer, still kind of fun and still worth playing a couple. We play double colorless energy, which can work for Ho-Oh, and if you can get away with smaller attacks, it can work for Blaziken. And we play Super Boost Energy. Super Boost Energy here is just like nuts good. Now, it's only going to work for 1 attack and then you're going to have to discard it. But the thing is, if you've got 3 stage 2s in play, it's 4 energy. Well, in theory, if you use Ho-Oh, you have 3 stage 2s in play, so then you just use Super Boost Energy to do loads of damage. As soon as 1 Blaziken goes down, it becomes not useless, it still counts as a fire energy. But really, you want to get this out as soon as possible when you've got 3 Blaziken on the field. Now, in terms of our trainer line here, we're playing 3 Scorched Earth, because it's draw power. We're playing 4 Blacksmith. We've talked about those cards, they're very important. But another card which is extremely important here is Battle Compressor. You see, we want to get a Ho-Oh GX using its GX attack as soon as we possibly can. But that only does good stuff if you've got Blaziken in the discard. So we need to get our Blaziken in the discard as soon as we possibly can. That's where Battle Compressor comes in. Plus you can discard fire energy to then attach them with Blacksmith. It makes me nervous that this list only plays 3 Blaziken. If one of them is prized, you're not going to get it with Ho-Oh's GX attack. And Ho-Oh is a once per game kind of thing. It's a GX attack. You have 1 shot. You're not playing any pre-evolutions. Any Blaziken you do not get with Ho-Oh, you do not get. And look, you've still got Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh's still a fine attacker. But it does less damage for more energy. Blaziken is the superior attacker here. And then we just see largely a bunch of consistency cards. For Professor Sycamore, because it's a great draw card, and you're discarding, which could discard your energy and Blaziken. Couple of Guzma to drag Pokemon off the bench and KO them. 1 copy of N for a little bit of disruption. Your opponent goes ahead, you put them down to a low hand size. And fairly obviously, it's expanded. We're playing 4 Versus Seeker. You kind of have to. Gets your Blacksmith back, gets your Guzma back, gets your N back. It's pretty gosh darn good. 4 Ultra Ball to search out your Pokemon, and again, you can discard cards using this. Blaziken says, cheers mate. We see 3 copies of Trainer's Mail. Trainer's Mail just adds speed and consistency. Yeah, it's always a little bit risky with Garbodor running around, but the fact is you need your Battle Compressor, you need your Blacksmith. This deck needs to get rolling early. If you're not getting an early Ho-Oh GX into Blaziken and then streaming Blacksmith, you're probably not winning the game. Trainer's Mail helps you out there. And then you got 1 copy of Field Blower to get rid of tools and stadiums. We've got 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher to get your Pokemon back. We've got 2 copies of Choice Band. And Choice Band's quite nice here, just because it gets your Ho-Oh up to 210. That's Zoroark KOing territory. It gets Blaziken up to 240. That's Pikachu and Zekrom KOing territory. That'll do nicely. And then 2 Floatstone. Get your Pokemon out the active. And especially if you're attacking with Ho-Oh, Ho-Oh can't attack the next turn. Ho-Oh has a retreat cost of 2. Being able to move it with Floatstone is pretty gosh darn nice. Here's the list as a whole. I love this list. I love inventive decks we haven't seen before, and this is a deck I haven't seen before. I have not seen anyone using Ho-Oh for a while. I think it's fair to say that I've never seen a deck that uses Ho-Oh to get Blaziken out. That's weird. But it's good weird, ladies and gentlemen. It's good weird. So this is a stage of the video where I say, hey, what do you think about this deck? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we cover Transformers and Keyforge and anything else that I think is fun. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching PTCG Radio.